Hannah and I reconciled, and it's wonderful. Like she has a baby now, and she's a mom, and it was great. Hannah was really great as well with the clients. Like she did a good job. Like from my first season all the way through, I can't remember them all. Bugsy for a short time. I love Bugsy. I like them all.
They're all different, right?
They're all different.
What about, like I mentioned, you did come in season 11, you replaced Captain Lee. Like, is that common? Like, if it's a longer charter or even a shorter charter where like a captain has to be replaced for whatever reason, like is that a
It's
common? It's
it's
rare.
rare.
Okay.
It's rare. So that show wouldn't have gone on if I didn't go in, right? So the producers called and said, "Hey, can you come in?" And it was Valentine's Day, and I looked at Leah, and I was really not going to. And they go, "If you don't come, our season ends." Because they can't, to clear a captain to get on and run a boat for the network is a 500 psychological test. It is background checks. It's not just, hey, I have a license, get approved by the insurance and jump on the boat. The network has many layers of background checks to make sure you're sane and that you can not lose your mind on the boat. So there's all those additives. So I did, hardest thing I ever did because, it wasn't such a wonderful, hey, thank you for coming in and helping me out. And by the way, I'm like, where is he? I was told two charters. I called him and go, where are you? And I'm just like, well, I'm not staying. So they weren't booking my flight, so I booked my own flight. And I went to the producer and I said, I'm leaving in 2 days. You got 2 days. So, and there was no way I was doing that. I don't want two shows. You know what I mean? I didn't want to finish out Below Deck. I was there to help him out. And then there was no graciousness on the other side. So it's like, okay, fine. You still have a rest of your season thanks to me. There was none of that. But that's okay because for me, I did the right thing because I was asked, and I love the network and I love the production company and the people behind it, and I did it. I did it for them.
Do you think producers would have kept you the whole season if you said, all right, forget about the flight? Just, and what would Leah have said? Where are you, Sandy? When are you
Yes,
coming
no, I
home?
had to get home because listen, first and foremost, that's not my show, right? Nor did I want to do it. I did it because I was asked. And so sometimes you show up for people because they asked, right? And Leah agreed, but then we said, okay, you're back in 2 weeks, uh, two charters, so like 7 or 8 days, and then we leave.
You're like, one show is enough, guys.
Yeah.
Speaking of Aisha and Captain Jason, BravoCon is coming up. You're going to be there. What are you looking forward to most about BravoCon?
BravoCon is incredible. First of all, the first BravoCon they did, it went really well. The second one, even better. The third one, epic, right? I can't imagine what this one's going to be like. I love we all evolved together, right? So they got it down. Um, the fan interaction is really cool. The ticket prices are really high. I feel bad for some of those people who can't afford it. I just wish we could give away some tickets, like a contest or something, and for those people who can't afford BravoCon. But they stand outside, so when you're going from your hotel, you get to see them, and you try to interact with them as well for the people who can't go inside. But it's epic. I love it. I'm grateful. I've been asked to go back, and it's an immersion of everything Bravo, and it's the Housewives. It's so cool. I've never done anything like that before, and it's so wonderful to be a part of it.
I always say, I just think, and this is like no shade or anything, I just think Bravo is like a master class in marketing. I say that on this podcast all the time. Like, it's, you look at like The Bachelor or other reality shows that their numbers are huge, much bigger, but the Bravo fandom is just so loyal and invested. I
You
mean
got to
that in a
watch the
positive
podcast.
way.
Yeah, watch the podcast that Frances did called Fast Company because she talks about that. And it is good. I got to sit in on that, but listening to her, she's a genius. Like the whole team, yes. And it's when you hear about Queer Eye for the Straight Guy and how that one was the one that Bravo Bravo, right?
Yeah.
So listen to that podcast, Fast Company with Francis.
I will because I'm so,
Really?
and it's a compliment that it's just, yeah. I mean, I didn't
Yeah,
realize there was a podcast that kind of outlined all this. I find that so interesting.
yeah, yeah,
Where I really was the first, and I've read things with Frances where how like she where the idea came from. You were there, in the beginning ish, like towards the
yeah,
beginning, like Rachel Zoe, she had a show. Now she's going to be a housewife of Beverly
yeah.
Hills.
Yes.
Like, do you have, how has Bravo changed for you? I mean, it has changed as a network. Like it's come a long way, but it's changed. It's a thing.
Yeah. So Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, yes, I watched, right? But I was at sea, so we're not watching television. And most of my career, I really didn't watch Bravo until I started doing the show, other than because a friend of mine, Linda Lee, do you know her?
No, but that
She
name
was
sounds
on Queer Eye
familiar.
for the Straight Guy. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. And I learned a lot about that show from her as well. And it's fascinating because once I started doing the show, I started watching it. Leah watches all the Housewives. She keeps me filled in. Sometimes I'll sit down and watch it. But yeah, I didn't watch it. And it's hard because if you watch the show, you don't want to change your behavior when you go in. You want to stay authentic to who you are, not go, oh, I saw Captain Kerry do this, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this differently. But what I love about watching yourself is how I get to improve on how I respond. There's some times where I go, why did I do that? I don't like who that person was. I want to be more kind. I want to pause a little longer before I get upset. Maybe I should have fired that person sooner, because when you get to see the rest of it. Now, those watching myself there, then yes, I want to tweak that behavior because I get another opportunity to change. But trying to compare myself with other captains, that's where I find it's harder. So I'm glad I didn't watch it. When I first started the show, I did watch one episode with Hannah, which was got in my head, and that's made us get off on the wrong foot. I said, hey, the service where she went out, the sunglasses on top of her head and couldn't really, pronounce or whatever the food that Ben was bringing out. And I was like, oh no, that's not going to happen on my boat. You know what I mean? That's where the perfectionism comes in of being a captain because you want it to be perfect. Because in the real world of chartering, you do charter shows, they spend a lot of money, and your boat to your port and your boat to your starboard is your competition. So you must have the best service and the best crew. Your boat could be crap. As long as your food is good, your service is good, everything else is fine.